I'm at Tesla Miranda today, here in Sydney, checking out the all-new Model 3 Performance. In this video, we'll take a look at the visual and software changes over the standard car and do a bit of a side-by-side comparison with the standard car as well. Tesla Miranda was pretty quiet today, with it being a rainy day, so I got to spend a fair bit of time with the car. The Model 3 Performance can now do the 0 to 100 sprint in a blistering claim time of 3.1 seconds, down from 3.3. The Performance also rides 10mm lower to the ground compared to the standard car, and interestingly is also 26 kilograms heavier than the long range. Starting at the front, the car has two major changes. The first is the air intakes on the left and right side of the front bumper that helps air to flow over the front lip and over the wheels, reducing drag. The front lip was also quite sturdy, so I'm assuming you can generate a fair bit of downforce. So here's a bit of a side-by-side comparison. We have the Performance on the left and the standard car on the right. So here you can see those side air curtains, and that front splitter helps it to look a little more aggressive than the standard car. Moving on to the side of the car, the overall profile is pretty much the same as the standard car. The Performance now comes with a new wheel design compared to the outgoing car, and according to the website, these wheels are supposedly lightweight. The wheels are wrapped in 235 by 35 Pirelli P0 tyres at the front and wider 275 by 30 tyres at the rear. The tyres are super low profile, and I reckon the car kind of looks underwheeled. There's a fair bit of space left in the wheel arches. Maybe Tesla is leaving some room for the car to be lowered. Tesla does claim that the car now comes with all new adaptive suspension, so I'd be interested to see how the car rides in day-to-day driving and handles with more spirited driving. The Performance also comes with bigger brakes. Not sure what the size of the discs are, but visually the discs and calipers look much bigger than the standard car. Onto the back, there are a few changes to cover here. First up is a spoiler. You don't get that on the standard car. It's a nice carbon fiber, and it looks similar to the one on the outgoing model. The Performance also gets a ludicrous badge in place of the underlined dual motor badge on the outgoing Performance. The badge is made of metal and it's embossed, so it's quite nice. And finally, at the bottom, you get a diffuser to smooth out the airflow under the car to help with rear downforce. And here's a side-by-side of the rear of the car. It was a little tricky matching up the images, not the best demonstration, but on the left side we have the regular car and on the right side we have the Performance. The rear differences are a little more subtle. Both cars have diffusers. The one on the regular version of the car isn't as pronounced as the one on the Performance model. The other difference, of course, is that ludicrous badge, and the Performance also gets that carbon spoiler, whereas the regular version of the car doesn't get the spoiler. Otherwise, not much else is different at the rear. Inside the car, the biggest change are these Performance seats that come with a bunch more bolstering than the standard car seats. The heating and ventilated seats work just the same, and the seats also get the ludicrous badge. The seats are quite comfy and hold you in well, but I think with all Performance seats, if you have a large frame, you might struggle to fit into them, especially these ones as they're quite narrow. One concern I do have is how well the side bolsters will hold up over time. In this car, it's already showing some minor signs of wear. The trim piece on the dash is also carbon instead of the fabric that you get on the standard car. I also noticed that the camera icon on the steering wheel button is slightly different, and there's also this new icon underneath the high beam button. Maybe an indicator for when the car is in track mode, but Tesla's instruction manual says it's non-functional, so who knows. As expected, you also get the sport pedals. And one other thing I noticed is that the Performance no longer has seat pockets at the back. Otherwise, everything else is the same as a regular premium interior. Now lastly, software. The software is pretty much the same as the standard car. The acceleration modes are a little different. They're chill, standard, and insane, which is unique to the Performance model. You can also adjust the steering weight as you can in the regular car. Now interestingly, here it says the ride and handling adjusts in real time. You can pause here and have a read of the info. What is different is the ability to adjust handling. There are two presets. In race, the handling balance is set to neutral with the option to push towards more understeer or oversteer. Note, you can't actually change any of the settings while you're in the race or drift presets. You'll have to create your own profile, but more on that in a little bit. You can pause here to have a read of how the car pushes towards understeer and oversteer. You can also adjust the stability, and to know what that does, you can pause the video here and have a read. You also have the ability to adjust the level of regen braking. In the drift preset, the handling is set to full oversteer and the stability is fully turned off. You also have the ability to cool the drivetrain between push laps and save dashcam footage from each lap. You also have the ability to create your own preset, as I mentioned before, and adjust the settings however way you like. Going through the rest of the software, everything appears to be the same as a standard car. So that's pretty much it, guys. The Model 3 performance. And if by some miracle this video blows up and Tesla watches it, I would love for the chance to drive the Model 3 Performance both on the road and, if I'm extra lucky, on the track. Alright, that's it guys. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you all in the next one.